Before we met up, I just got online real quick and checked the NRC rankings. I saw that you're ranked 4th.
Oh, really?
I know you took the 2 stage wins back-to-back in Redlands. Talk to me a little bit. I mean, you were out last year dealing with USADA and all that. Talk to me about what that first win in Redlands, was that your first win back?
Yeah.
And tell me what that was like in that weekend, and just kind of, is it just this huge sigh of relief to be back and winning again?
Yes and no. I think it was a big. It was never a sigh of relief. It was just, you know what, this is why I trained last year. This is why you don't lose faith in the system, and you attempt not to lose faith in the system, and you attempt not to lose faith in cycling itself. And it is very difficult at times, especially with all the constant saga that's going on in Europe at the moment. That's also a really good reason why I came to America as well.
Sure.
Get back into racing and enjoy it again. From when I started racing again in December, it was every race is, I seem to have this little extra couple of percent that it's just the want and the will to race, and to know what it's like not to be able to race.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, which I think a lot of people get when they're injured or they break bones or whatever. Coming into Redlands was, since I was with the Rabo amateur team, that was the first win since like August 2004. So it's a pretty long stint between drinks.
Yeah.
And it was it was nice to do it there, and it's just so many things go wrong in cycling. So many things don't go to plan.
Sure.
And it was really nice at that specific time at a place where Russell and I lived in Redlands for February and March. So it was kind of like our hometown in the States.
Did I hear that you were staying at a pretty styling pad, like host housing?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think I heard something about that.
Yeah.
MTV Cribs style a little bit.
It's coming out. It'll be out soon. But no, so we had all the support of the people that were looking after Russell and myself there. Then you had we had a rough day up Oakland the day before, and we didn't really pull out what we thought we had in us, and it was really important for us as a team to race the way we did. So I think in that respect, it was probably a lot easier to win for the team as opposed to winning just for yourself. And it was a better thing to do as well. But it's not just, I'm back, I've had time off and it's my time to win again. But it's like we needed that win, needed the motivation in the team, and we needed that real, we're not gone and we can actually do this.
And when you say you needed the team, I mean, HealthNet, the main sponsor, is very close to the Redlands area, correct? I mean, that's part of the reason the team needed to do well at that race.
California, well, we want to do well in every race. We don't necessarily want to concentrate specifically on races in California because that's where HealthNet is based. However, there is obviously a little bit more of an impetus on doing that.
Sure.
Because it's more on TV there, and it comes more in the newspaper for the overall sponsor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Redlands got a pretty special place in my heart now.
So 2 stages, and I wasn't there, but what I understand is you won the Criterium in a breakaway group.
Yeah.
And then the next day was the Sunset Loop.
Yeah.
And it finished on the Criterium course.
Yeah.
So essentially you won 2 days in a row, a little bit of deja vu, like, wow, I can't believe I'm crossing essentially the same finish line.
The same thing, the same. But that's one of the benefits of that as well. That that kind of sprint, really sharp corners, a slow start to the sprint, and a short sprint, slightly uphill. Like that's the only way I sprint normally. So when you realise that you can do it the day before, even when your legs aren't, no one's feeling fantastic at the end of an hour and a half crit, but to be able to do it the day before is kind of like a test to see how it is going to be the next day, but it's not necessarily that easy, obviously.
Yeah. We're talking about Redlands, but I should mention, I don't know all the results off the top of my head, but I know that before you actually came over here, you did very well at Australian Nationals. I think were you second in the National Time Trial Championship?
Nathan, again.
Second to Nathan, and then in the road race, I know you were top 10 in the front group.
I think Carl ran third. Yeah, Carl ran third, so we had 2 of us in the front group of like seven or 8 guys.
And I know that was a very hard race as well.
That's one of the toughest circuits that I've ever done, and I've done it a few times now, and it's just so physically draining.
So I mean, I knew before you would even come to the States. I know like Hank Vogels, another Australian, was saying, "Oh, watch out for Rory Sutherland. He's going to be one of the top guys racing in the U.S." And you're ranked 4th. Before we wrap this up, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up for the rest of the season. I mean, here we are. We're first week of May. Sort of got that first kind of California to Georgia block out of the way. You go into Arkansas. Will we see a Mount Hood? Are we going to see a Philly? What's sort of on your calendar you got circled as that's a course for me?
I'm going to Arkansas the next 2 weeks. That's pretty much after a small break after Georgia. For us, it's important for the team that we're heading to Philly with that we get that real bonding together because there's so many new guys in the team, and that's maybe one of the things that we have missed this year a little bit is the fact that when you're bringing in riders from when you're running a double program and you're bringing in riders from both sides, that you don't actually know and meet everyone. Like, you know who they are or whatever, but you don't see them in a racing environment. And once you've done that, and once you've raced with guys, you know how they react to situations, and you know what you can offer them, and you know what they can give you at the same time. So basically, we're heading into Arkansas to really boost that, that bond of our team together. And then I'm heading on to Philly, and I think pretty much all the races through Philly, Nature Valley, and then I'm not really. We'll play it by ear towards the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I remember 2 years ago when Health and Maxis swept Philly Week with 3 different riders, talking with the guys and with Jeff Corbett, and he said, the whole Arkansas thing was really what led into this. Everybody got together, we raced together, we trained together, we bonded, and boom, I'm heralded.
It is a really important thing, but I also think that the past is the past as in with America and what dominating teams have raced here and dominated the entire season. I think for this year, I think that's pretty much gone.
Sure.
And I think that's a really good thing. I think that's a great thing for racing because it makes it different, it makes it more exciting. No one wants to see, to be honest, no one wants to see what happened in Georgia where the whole race shuts down in one day.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's not fun, and it's good to have different winners all the time. As much as you want the team to dominate everything you do, it's so much sweeter, I think, when you don't have as much and you can just take little bits and pieces as you go.
Yeah, every time you take the start line, you honestly don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. So it's exciting and it's a fun way to race. It's frustrating sometimes, but
maybe a little more pain involved sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to it anyway.
Hey, Rory, thanks for coming down. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with everything.
Thanks.